Okay, this is a unit review number 2, extra practice paper review, and I'm going to start with number 7. So 7 says, for the simple statements P, there is a fire in the fireplace, and Q, the house is cold, match each compound statement to its symbolic form. I think the best way to do that is look at every single choice, uppercase A, B, C, and D, write it out symbolically, and then match it up. So let's look at A. There is no fire in the fireplace. So that is negation P. And the house is cold, Q. So this is negation P and Q. So negation P and Q would be C. So let's look at B. There is no fire in the fireplace. Again, negation P. Or the house is cold. So or Q. Okay, so negation P or Q would look like B. Okay, so we have C and B taken care of. Let's look at uppercase C. There is a fire in a fireplace, which is P, and the house is not cold. So, and the house is not cold would be negation Q. So P and negation Q would look like letter choice A. And finally, D, there is a fire in a fireplace, or the house is not cold. So there is a fire in a fireplace is P, or the house is not cold is negation Q. And that would be choice D. So the answer would be capital letter A with C, capital letter B with B, capital letter C with A, and capital letter D with D. Number 8, the disjunction P or Q is only false when both simple statements P and Q are false. So remember that false or false equals false. Otherwise, the rest of them are true. So circle the answer. So when both P and Q are false is C. So that is the answer. 9, create a truth table for P and Q. So I have two simple statements, P and Q. Therefore, I know I'm going to have 4 rows. So I'm doing my columns, P, then Q, then I do P or Q. So I need 4 rows here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to fill this out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the truth table would be P would be true, true, false, false, and Q is true, false, true, false. If I want to do P or Q, I'm going to write down P column again, so true, true, false, false, and then I'm going to put the or symbol, and then I'm going to do Q, which is true, false, true, false. Okay, so this is or. The only time or is false is when both are false. So in line 1, we have true or true, which is true. True or false, which is true. False or true, which is true. And here's the case when it's false in row 4. False or false is false. So my results are true, 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 and false. Okay, so that was number 9. Let's move on to 10. The conjunction P and Q is only true when both P and Q are true. Otherwise, it is false. So the answer to that is A. Both P, whoops, no, it says or. No, it should be and. P and Q have to have the same truth values. No. Okay, so it's D. Both P and Q are true. This one. Okay. Create a truth table for that, P and Q. So again, I have 2 simple statements. So I'm going to have 4 rows. Okay. So here we go. Row 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, well, it's a little bit crooked there, but okay. So we have our 4 rows. P again is true, true, false, false, as always. And Q is true, false, true, false. So we're going to put these pieces together with an and. So copying down the P column again, true, true, false, false, putting the and symbol. and then doing true, false for Q. And now we're putting the pieces together. So again, the only time and is true is when both are true. And that happens in line 1. True and true is true. True and false is false. False and true is false. And finally, false and false is false. So this is my truth table value, true, false, false, false. Okay, I'm going to do 11 too, and then we're going to I'm going to start another video with 13 here. But it says create a truth table for negation P and Q. So again, I have two simple statements. So I know I'm going to have 4 rows. I have a negation, so I need to make a row for the negation. And then I'm going to put that negation with an and symbol and Q. Okay, so I'm setting up my truth table here. Again, I have 4 rows. And as I'm drawing this, the first 2 rows, P and Q, don't change, okay? So P is always going to be true, true, false, false, and Q is always true, false, true, false. Now I'm going to negate the P column. So negation of true equals false. The negation of true again equals false. And in line 3, the negation of false equals true, and the negation of false equals true. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that in for negation P in the next column. So I'm going to write false, false, true, true. I'm going to write and. And then I'm going to write the Q column, which is true, false, true, false. Now remember, the only time and is true is when both are true, otherwise it's false. So in line 1, false and true is false. In line 2, false and false is false. In line 3, true and true is the only case when and is true. And finally, in line 4, true and false is false. So my answer is going to be false, false, true, false. Okay, so that was questions, I think 7 we started out with. Yeah, we started with 7 and went up to 12. So that's questions 7 through 12.